You know where I'm from, underneath the sun. Voices sound like violence, that's where we've been hiding. We can make a trip, you and me can dip. Last of the survivors, walking through the fire. I feel like the one, come back, can stop me in my tracks.
Can you hear me all good? Check, check.
You're good. Yeah,
okay,
these mics,
cool.
surprising enough, these mics, like, you don't really, you should talk into them, but
you don't really have to. Like, you can hear me here.
Yeah.
Hello.
When you get really far,
that's when it gets tough.
Yeah,
for sure.
How's your recording style? What do you record with? Like, you record just like a single mic in studio, or are you like beside the engineer?
Yeah. So, like when I record, I just record right next to the engineer. So like right next to Bounce.
So you don't go into any type of booth or anything?
No, it depends where we are, but we're always at Bounce's studio, so we never have like a.
I've seen it set up too. It's actually not like
So
it's
chill.
Yeah, you guys do like you guys make insane work just in that space, like just in that humble space, and not humble like throwing shade or anything.
Yeah. It's small. It's chill. It's like.
Is that still with the garden room? Oh, sorry, that might be their old spot.
That was
right?
the old spot. Yeah. That was where I met him. So that was 2 spots ago, bro. So like he was it's called the Garden now, right? Like Five God and all them's there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I first met him. I met Bounce because PJ brought me to Bounce.
Yeah, our boy PJ.
Yeah, so PJ, JML, right? He brought me to Bounce, and it wasn't even my session. It was like his friend's session, and so he's like, "You just want to tag along?" I'm like, "Sure." So I went to his session, his friend's session or whatever. They were recording a song together, and yeah, we they went outside for a cigarette. Yeah, and so me and Bounce were just there, and he was like, "Oh, like you make music too?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I just showed him like, "You remember Right By You with JML?"
Right. Yes, I do. I remember when that dropped.
That one, yeah. And so I showed him that. He's like, "Oh, I know who you are. You're known." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he knew who I was. And then ever since then, we just like I recorded a verse on that guy's song randomly that day, just like written and recorded it there. And then ever since then, dude, I just worked with him. Ever since I was 19, it's been like 3 years now or something.
Yeah. For the people like that aren't really in the studio, like that in that type of setting, or is it like that, like you just would write and record on a beat that what you just heard in the studio while you're there, or
well, it depends, like if I was like in someone else's session or if I was on my own. But normally on my own. So like back when I used to rap, I would go to Bounce's studio and then we would make a beat together. Or he would make the beat and I would just kind of like, put my input in and stuff and tell him what vibe I wanted. And then we would go and I would just do the chorus, because chorus is always easy. The melodies always came naturally to me. And then I would go home and I would write the verse, come back, record the verses, and then we'd do the whole process over again. Make a beat, do the chorus there, and then we'd leave, and then I would write the verses, come back, record, and then so on and so forth. But now it's like, because I switch genres and everything and I don't rap no more, I do everything there. 2 hours, 2.5 hours max. 3 hours.
Shit.
Yeah, all the songs come easy. That was my whole thing, is like the whole reason we switched genres too was because I made an album called Paradise Park.
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, Paradise Park 2020, right?
2020, yeah. And so that was like when I was rapping. And so I was rapping, and then we had one session left on the album. We already finished the album. Right. So, but every single song I would reference for the album would always be like an indie song, indie rock or whatever. So like I would be, "Oh, can we take this sound from here or this sound from here?" And Bounce one day was just like, "Why don't we just like try to make an indie song?" I was like, "Sure." But like all the bands I listened to that were indie always use the higher register voice. Right. So I have like 3 like main influences when it comes to like higher registry. It was like one of my favorite bands called Plums. I'll send you links for that.
Send it to me, yeah. We're gonna talk about what you've just been showing me too. You want some shit.
So like Plums was this band from Boston, and then Foster the People.
Foster the People. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And then a little bit of Tame Impala.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are like my 3 main influences for the new sound. And so that's all I was listening to at the time, right? So then immediately that was the first song we made was Candyland. Right. It's like, "I make time." That immediately just went to a higher voice. Yeah. And then I just threw some reverb and stuff on it. And then the crazy story about Candyland, bro. You get me in front of a mic, I just keep going. I just don't stop.
You just don't stop.
I don't stop, dude.
So you're saying the producers got to give you a loop, like they got to just loop that shit, like.
Well, like, the crazy thing about Candyland is he made the beat and I did the voice memos, right, of what on my phone, and I was doing the voice memos of the melodies. And then he was trying to do some shit with it. I can swear on here?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good,
Okay.
I think I've been swearing already. Shit.
So he was trying to do some shit with the computer, and the whole thing crashed.
Oh.
So we had no beat for 15 minutes. But I just went off what the voice memo was, and I wrote the whole song in 15 minutes.
Damn. So you completed it.
Both verses and the choruses and the bridge and the whole thing. And then he's like, okay, so I got the beat back up. Like, you want me to loop it? I'm like, I'm done. And we just recorded everything. You know, the crazy thing about Candyland was my first song. I like on the new genre. Everything was the first take. We didn't go back and do one different take.
Damn.
Everything was the first take. And so since then, I was like, I'm not doing this rap no more, dude. Like, this is like too much fun, dude. Like, way too much fun.
Yeah. Damn, I got a lot of questions. Okay, so first off, I can already tell that you're the type of person that, like, most people in that case where, say, something crashes or this computer dies, that hard drive's not working, or this cable, whatever, are gonna go out for a smoke break, go get something to eat. You stay there, you remember that you had the voice memos, and you just went strictly off of that.
Absolutely.
That just goes to, like, the type of, like, artist that I can already tell you are. And what you said Candyland, how far into this relationship did you guys have already at this point? Like,
with Bounce?
Candyland
we made that in 2020. It was like a year after we met, year and a half. So we were doing rap together for like a year. Like, he was making my beats and stuff, and then we did Candyland. After that, I was like, never did.
So you mentioned like those three. Is it those 3 octaves, or what is it? Like,
it's just like a vocal sound style of doing it. It's almost like the screamo I was showing you. It's like as a sound.
And that's like, did you just find more comfort in that than like, just focusing on like the bars or what you were saying? And like that rap moment, that transition, I guess. Yeah,
it's cool because like I still like totally like respect rap and stuff, and even like in the new music, like I still do like rap verses too, like on Monica Lauren and stuff like that. And like, but I don't know. It was just one of those things where as soon as I did it, I was like, I love the sound of my voice. I fell in love with the sound of my voice on it, and I was like, okay, I don't really want to do like the other stuff anymore. Like, I'm just like gonna focus on this. So, who are the 3? You said Tame Impala. You said Foster the People and Pears. Plums. My bad. Pears. That's fire. They're all fruits, aren't they? My bad. It's all the Plums fans out there, but. No, so is that the commonality that they all use that high octave? Like, they're the indie pop, but they got that high kind of tonality? Or? Yeah. Like, they all, that's like what I kind of listened to. Like, that was my main influence. Was those were the bands I was listening to at the time. Right. Was like a lot of those 3, and they all use like a very high voice. Like Pumped Up Kicks by Foster. I was gonna say, Bro, you know the deep dives I've done on that song? Oh, really? Bro. I'm sure if you know, but it's like school shooter anthem, bro. Yeah, 100%. You do your Googles, but so it's just funny that you mentioned those 3. I love Tame Impala. Like, love them. What's their big track? Less I Know the Better? Yeah, that one gets me every time. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but them, honestly, there were just a lot of bands at that time that, like, even though, say, I came up in like the rap kind of side of things, there was still like those kind of bands, like Coldplay. There were a lot of Coldplay. Absolutely. I think Paradise was one song for me that, like, incredible song, never die, but it is what it is. What kind of drove rap for you, like, when you first started? Man, so I grew up on like heavy metal since I was a kid, right? And then my sister bought me NBA 2K12. And the soundtrack, do you know who XV is? XV. School me. Kid with the green backpack. That's what they always called him. He had a song on NBA 2K12. It's called Awesome. It was featuring Pusha T. Oh, shit. Okay. And, dude, I heard, what year is this? Oh, 2K13, sorry. 2012. Or 2012. 2K12. So maybe 2011, the song, or I don't know. Yeah, I think it was 2011, actually. And the first, it was like a piano. Because all like, rap I heard before was in like from movies and stuff, right? I never heard rap. And then yeah, dude, I heard the opening piano. It's always some instrument, I swear. Fucking gorgeous, dude. It was gorgeous. And then the cadence of it was so chill, and it was like this, I don't know, to me it just carried such a good vibe. And so I heard that, and then I started listening to, Chitty Bang. Chitty Bang, yeah, like Opposite of Adults and all that stuff. So I listened to like Chitty Bang a lot, and then my sister actually showed me Good Kid, Mad City. Really? Yeah, I was 12. What was the song? Swimming Pools. Damn, let's talk about Good Kid, Mad City. I always love a Good Kid, Mad City conversation. It's my favorite rap album. Swimming Pools. Yeah. I think Swimming Pools is probably a lot of people's like first rap song you ever heard, because it's like the headshot, drink, sit down, drink. Yeah. It's just that for some reason that, like you're sitting there and it's a formula. It's like you just know that it's gonna bite at the show, it's chanting, in the car, whatever it is.
And for some reason, that album particularly, it's funny enough, out of all these that you see in the studio right now, that's my favorite album of all time.
Really? Hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, give me
that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, no, for that one, it was like a lot of songs, like Mad City.
Incredible.
Is the patented song I use every single time when I want to test the bass in a car.
Yeah, for sure.
So
right?
if I'm hopping in a new whip and I want to say, okay, like how's the sound system in this?
Yeah.
Mad City's the first one I play. I don't go to any song besides that one first.
100%.
Certain things like Money Trees.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that was actually my least favorite song on the album.
No way.
But now it's probably my favorite song
really?
of all time. And,
dude, J-Rock's verse on that song, crazy.
And J-Rock himself, I can tell you, because you talked about Absol before we hit record on the mics, but
TDE guy.
TDE, I'm telling you, bro. I lit 90059 with him.
Hey.
All different side, yo.
Yeah, that's a great album.
It is.
That's a great album.
What's the...
I forget.
Gumbo?
Gumbo's crazy.
Gumbo's a crazy record.
That whole album's crazy. The whole album's crazy. Are you a big Isaiah Rashad fan?
Not a big fan, but I've been getting in on him. Actually, pause on that because recent news. But, Isaiah Rashad is dope. I fuck with him. There's I don't know what song it was. Every time he gets with Kendrick, I fuck with it. There's
I forget what it's called.
I'll look it up right now. But even there's some certain songs that just him.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, enchanting.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if that's the work of TDE where they just know how to like get these particular artists that just be doing that.
100%.
But Isaiah Rashad, what was his album in particular that dropped?
The one that just came out? I forget what it's called.
The Sun's Tirade was the one.
That was great. The one before that, Sylvia demo, insane.
It was actually
R.I.P. Kevin Miller's on that. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Dressed Like Rappers. That's one that's still on my current playlist.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I don't know if you know that song, but I don't know that song. No. It's a fire Isaiah Rashad song.
What album is it from?
Sun's Tirade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was like I listened to the Sylvia demo a lot, but then Sun's Tirade, I just kind of listened to the hits. Titty and Dollar.
Yeah, that
great
one.
I has J-Rock on it too, man. Yeah. It's great. Does it, right?
Yeah, he does. I think he does. Yeah. I think the whole crew. What do you have to say about like the new TDE? How do you feel about them?
I haven't kept up with it. I know like one of the guys opened for Isaiah Rashad.
Oh yeah.
One, yeah. I forget his name though.
There's a guy Reason. He's
he's cool. He does stuff with Absol.
Yeah. He's on TDE now.
Yeah.
I think they actually had they have a lot of new artists that came on. As of recently.
Okay.
And I don't know. It looks like they're kind of bringing on like the new TDE now that Kendrick's left.
Yeah. That was his final album, right?
Yeah. He's like completely on his own PG Lang shit now.
Oh, okay. What is that? Like a label?
Him and Dave Free are doing like a creative house.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where it's a record label, but I guess they want to do other type of shit with like visuals.
Oh, that's dope.
I think they just did a partnership with Cash App where Kendrick's doing a translation. Like they're sitting on a patio and it's some old white dude and then his homie from the hood.
Oh, crazy.
And his homie from the hood's basically telling him, well, yeah, like I made all this money on crack and then I sold it. I like gambled it away on dice.
Wow.
And I lost the money. I didn't know how to invest it type shit.
Yeah.
He translates it to the white guy and the white guy basically tells him, oh, you should have did this, that. I don't know how I feel about it entirely yet, but it was an interesting concept. Yeah. Is what I mean to say.
What do you mean you don't know what you feel about it?
Not that I was like offended in any case, but I was like, oh, it's kind of, I don't know what because it wasn't like both sides weren't smart or whatever. That wasn't what he was depicting. Like he was taking like somebody that didn't know what they were doing with their money and getting info from someone that does. Yeah. In a sense, it kind of was that, but I think he was doing it in like a tasteful way where.
Oh, okay.
It was like him just saying that, yo, we could do better with like the money that we have, and Cash App's gonna help with that in some way.
Oh, okay.
I want to see like what that means. I guess is more so my question, but Kendrick, I feel like he makes some. More or less, he's proved to have made some smart judgments.
True. Never really seen him in controversy or ever. I don't think I've ever been in controversy, right?
There's one time at the show where I think he invited that white girl on.
Oh, she started
rapping the N-word left, right, and center, and then he
kicked her out though, right? Yeah. That's brutal. Dude.
That just the whole situation. I just don't know how to feel. I'm just like, damn, like what do you even do?
No, I feel like you'd be in shock too, right?
Yeah,
in front of all those people, bro. There's like how many people were there? Like 40, 50,000. It was like a festival, right?
I think it was Damn. I think so. By then he was like
huge.
Yeah. Like this was I don't know. Anyways,
that's a brutal.
Yeah, but interesting that like Kendrick Lamar, your sister put you on Kendrick, I guess.
Yeah.
Is your sister like into rap like that? Or?
Yeah, she's into rap. Yeah, so she put me out. It was funny. She was supposed to take me to see Kendrick when I was like 13, 14 when he's opening for Kanye.
Yeah.
And they canceled twice, and on the third time they just said, "No, we're not going to come back," and we never got to see him live.
Wow.
I've never seen him live before. It'd be cool too, though.
I saw him when he came for the championship tour. With,
cool.
With all of them. Yeah,
That's dope.
That was the one time where I was like, "Yo, I can't miss this." Like,
yeah.
And I think I paid like $300 for nosebleeds.
Whoa.
Like it was tough,
dude. I've never paid like more than like $50 for a concert ticket.
Yeah.
Is
that like just because of like where you're from, or like do you just not really go to big?
I just never go
like
to
that?
Rogers.
Yeah.
Last time I was at Rogers, I saw like Iron Maiden.
Damn.
But with my dad when I was like 16.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like the like hard rock band, you know. But no, I just go to like the Vogue if I'm going to see a show, or like the Rickshaw, or, you know, whatever the bands are playing.
Yeah. Talk about like I guess that early back then, like when you were kind of growing up, like and like what kind of got you to that music point, because I want to hear about like more like you said, Cody.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Just, like Cody as a person before music. Like were you like the like in school, were you like the class clown type shit, or were you the
I don't know, I was very like, I was a shy kid, to be honest, like growing up, and I never really broke out of that until I was like high school maybe. And then high school, you know, when you're high school trying to find yourself, you don't really know who you are and stuff. And then now I know, like, and now I'm like pretty solid in who I am.
But, I think a lot of people go through that. I feel like I have, a lot of people.
100%. And just like the early days, I don't know, man, I was just like a kid that just wanted to be accepted and loved by people and have my friends and do fun shit with my buddies. But I was never like a class clown. But and then when we get to high school, I just like was pretty chill. Yeah, I was chill. Everyone liked me. I was friends with everyone.
Were you the type like that just knew and like were tapped in everybody, or were you just kind of like, yo, I'm just taking my like doing my thing, like? Oh,
I was a social butterfly, dude. I tapped in with everyone. Yeah, every single person, bro. Like no matter like what group you were from or whatever, like the cliquey stuff. Like I was friends with everyone. I never had any issues in high school. Yeah, which is kind of cool to say. Yeah, I mean, like I'm from Mission, bro. We have one high school, so like everyone knows each other. So it's either like you're a dickhead and then nobody likes you, or it's like everyone's cool with each other. And I was like lucky, like my grad class and like everyone I grew up with, everyone was cool with each other. It was never like no beef or anything. Everyone was super cool with each other. That's good. Like, no, I feel that like where there's not that many people saying your grad class or whatever it is. Like same with mine too. Yeah. In that, I guess that particular point, because what was your school like? Were there a lot of people that were kind of musically inclined as well? Like, because my question is for you is like, what's in the water in Mission? Because apparently you guys just got a whole bunch of talented ass people out there that I'm just like, there's another person from Mission that I'm hearing about. I'm like, wait, really? Like, I already got like, you know, JML and like Nona at the top of my list, and now there's like all these people underneath. And I don't know. Tell me like what's the vibe out there in terms of the music scene? Dude, there's like no, I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of cool because like everyone that's really like popped out of Mission, very different. Very different. So like Powfu is from Mission as well. Wow. So like me and him went to high school together. Wow. Okay, and no one knew he made music in high school, and he was like, I don't even know. He's probably like 500,000 monthly listeners while he was in high school or something like that. And nobody knew. How you walk the halls like that, just knowing, yo, none of these motherfuckers need He's shit. Like the humblest kid ever, bro. He's dope. But then like, he's like lo-fi. And then I make like, back then I was rapping, but now I make like pop music. Right. Like a weird like indie pop. And then like Carly Rae Jepsen from there. Call Me Maybe, dude. Yo, this the She's from Mission too? She's from Mission, bro. I swear I saw Abbotsford somewhere. Nah. I saw that on her Wikipedia. Lies, dude. Damn. Her grad heard it here first, yo. Her grad pictures in the Heritage Park Secondary in Mission, dude. Yeah. The crazy thing is like two of the biggest songs of like my generation came from Mission, bro. Yo, Powfu has the Deathbed song that was huge on TikTok. It's at like 1.5 billion streams or something. Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe. Both two. You don't even need to talk about Call Me Maybe, yo. Two Mission artists, bro, have two of the biggest songs ever of my generation. Insane. Isn't that crazy, dude? That's insane. You're up next, bro. Like I hope so. And then you know, JML, Boosted. Have you ever heard of Boosted? I was gonna ask you about Boosted. Fucking dope kid, man. I love that kid. Me and him were in the same PE class together, dude. Really? Yeah. He came up to me one day and was like, "Yo, I make music." And I was like, because I knew him since I was like a kid, because we went to the same elementary school and stuff, right? And I was like, "You make music?" And he's like, "Yeah, I rap." I was like, "Bro, you rap?" And then he played it. I was like, "You're crazy." And he makes all his own beats and shit. Really? He's insane, talented. Has a little setup like this in his room, just like his bed's here and this, and he makes like insane quality stuff.
And
very DIY.
Are a lot of them like producer based as well, or is it just like?
I think
because
like,
I've noticed like even with JML, producer too.
Yeah, like JML and Booster are the only ones I know that are like producer based. But then like I don't know if have you ever heard of Lights?
Lights,
the singer Light. Have you heard of Lights? Yeah, she lives there in Mission. I don't know if she's from Mission, but she lives there. And like her husband, he's not from Mission at all, but he's my friend Bo Hoboken. He's a singer of like a screamo band called Bless the Fall, and they're huge.
That's insane.
Yeah, like we have like all these super talented people in Mission, man.
I love some
that
water
town.
down to Coquitlam, yo.
I love that town, dude.
I need some of that Mission water because I don't know what's happening over there.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
That's insane. That's insane. Is that something that you like find being from Mission? Is it like where you're not necessarily one, even though maybe it's not like a metropolitan area?
Yeah.
Because for people that don't necessarily know Mission, it's more of describe Mission. It's like a more rural area.
It's like a rural area, but it's like it's getting pretty like suburbia type thing now. But there's like, you know, we have a shit ton of farms. It's like super like I open my front door and it's beautiful mountains. You know, it's like super sick location to be in. But it's not like a metropolitan area. Like it took me like 45 and 50 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
You know, to Vancouver, to when I go to record at Bounce Studio, hour 15, dude.
Sheesh. That's insane.
But I love it. I love Mission.
You drive an e-vehicle? I hope.
Nah, man, all gas, dude. And with these prices too, fuck. It's crazy. Man. But no, man, it's dope. I love Mission. I eventually like want to like, you know, expand. The bird has to leave the nest at some point. But like, I'm always gonna come back, raise my kids there too. Like
that's what I feel.
Place is fucking dope, man.
I'm trying to like I'm trying to do that. You know how Drake, you know, blew up worldwide, but he's still, even from way back, he started building his house in Toronto, like his castle, because he knew that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to do that same shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I don't necessarily, I love Vancouver for what it is, or say Vancouver, but like the city that I live in particular.
Absolutely.
So being from Mission, even though maybe you guys are maybe a little bit of a more distance, or a drive at least apart.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself like all you guys wanting to collaborate with each other? Is that something that's common out there? Like,
I feel like everyone's just kind of keeps to their own, not in like a hated type of way, like, but like me and Boosted make songs together, and like Boosted and Powfu have made songs together, and then, you know, me and Jim. Actually, yeah, you're right, bro. It's a collaborative type of energy.
I feel like every like in a sense at least, but like, because some people don't even drop a track together. Yeah. At least you guys, you know, like I see you and Boosted dropping a few tracks together.
Yeah, for sure.
You and JML on one or two together. You might drop like a whole bunch of shit with Powfu. Yeah. But in other places, like they be living, well, maybe because they're maybe more artists in an area like a single city like Atlanta. Yeah. That not everybody's going to be collabing with everybody.
True, that's very true.
But yeah, I wonder what that's.
You know what's one crazy thing that I realized too is like we're like out there, right? So it's like, you know how like some people in the city or whatever, no shade or anything, but like some people will sound the same. Like in Toronto especially, like a lot of people will sound the same. Yeah. The cool thing about being like a rural community is like, you know, I got that influence of people being like, this is the hot shit that's out right now. Right. You know, like you can see it online and stuff, but like that's why everything's so different in Mission.
No, 100%.
Like Powfu, Boosted, myself, JML, we all make such different types of music.
And I was gonna ask that, like, do you find that like there's a commonality in the music you make, or are you guys all on different shit?
I feel like we're all on different shit. You know, like when me and Powfu get together, then we merge our sounds, or when me and Boosted get together, we merge the sounds, or me and JML, we merge the sounds. But then like when we all do our own separate stuff, it's so different. And that's so cool, man, how everyone can come together and just do their own thing. I love it, man. It's awesome.
100%. Yeah. I've noticed that in the province, at least, there seems to be like an uptick in like live performance and festivals. Like I'm seeing a lot more festivals. You know, I think there's one in Victoria. There's one in Abbotsford.
Jam and Jubilee.
That's
awesome.
Is that one that I don't know if that might be the one that I saw, but I saw another one, like maybe something that was named besides, because I know Jam and Jubilee's been around for a while, right? Yeah, yeah. So I think I might have seen like a new flyer for something different.
Oh, okay. I'm not too sure.
Not entirely sure. Don't quote me, but I know Victoria also has a
Rifflandia. Yeah, that's been around for a while too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got big artists there.
Yeah, and I'm seeing an uptick in all these festivals. Like, of course, you know, Faded's been around for a while. Yeah. Breakout's the one that everybody wants to talk about. Yeah. But yeah, it's when it comes to you guys, like, do you find yourselves like, are a lot of you guys performers as well, or is it more that they're just artists like making music in a sense?
I feel like a lot of people from Mission are just like pretty removed from like the local scene out here. Especially when I was rapping, that's one thing I never felt accepted by, was like the local scene. Right. And then But like not in like a, oh like woe was me type of crying way. It's just like I didn't put the effort in because I'm like all the way out in Mission, right? So it's just like one of those things where you just I don't know, man. Like I performed a lot.
Yeah, I know that. I was gonna say that you like.
I used to perform a lot. Yeah, I went on tour with Snack the Ripper, right? Like 47 shows in 2 months when I was 18.
I was gonna say 2 months.
Yeah, crazy.
That routing must have been insane.
Insane, all through Canada and then all the way down through the States. Well, I went to Wichita, Kansas, bro.
That's insane. Talk about that tour experience. Like I'm sure there are. Like, where did you sleep? Like, what was the turnover rate? You perform a show, are you gone that night, or are you leaving the next morning?
Yeah, it was like we started in BC, and then yeah, it was cool. It was like we had a Sprinter van. We go to the show, set up, do the show, go to a hotel that the promoter paid for. Right. And then you leave the next morning, maybe do like a 6-hour drive to the next city or however close it is. And then you do the whole thing again. Yeah, but it's I don't know, man. It was cool. I was homesick. Wasn't really my scene, but yeah, I'm super grateful.
I was explaining that, like going home and saying, "Hey, like, yo, I'm going on tour."
My parents are super supportive. My parents are the chillest people you ever meet.
Really?
My mom, my best friend. I have my mom's name tattooed on me, bro.
That's what's up. I want to do that one day.
Yeah. And like my parents are the chillest people, so it's just one of those things where like they've always been supporting. Because I've been making music since I was 13. Yeah. Right. So it's almost been like 10 years. It's been like 9 years, right? So
that's blessed.
Yeah. So ever since then, like my mom was at my first show, dude. She's on like a table, like turning up.
Let's you should get her initials tatted right here.
Can you imagine that? TH. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be wild. I think it's the ultimate sign of okay, I read somewhere about how Drake did that, how he tattooed his mom's initials on his eye.
Did he?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's where that comes from. He actually did tattoo like his mom's initials on his eye. Yeah. Like a teardrop type shit.
Oh, amazing.
And I had read somewhere that they called it the softest tattoo in hip hop. Or I guess it's not an eye drop, so I guess it doesn't prove that he's that hard. But I don't know. I found it interesting. I love my mom.
I love my mom, dude.
But I don't know if I would go to...
I wouldn't get her name tattooed here.
I don't think she'd want me to.
No, my mom would be pissed. Yeah. If I got a face tattoo, she would beat my ass, dude. Swear.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Like, I don't think that'd be okay. No. But that's good. I'm glad like they're supportive in that sense. You said that live performance is important. Like I do see that. Like I said, there's an uptick, an increase of that live performance piece. Yeah. I think it's the live performance or just that live event piece is that kind of last mending piece that we need to connect with maybe the audience that was just used to listening to radio and maybe I don't know, maybe in that kind of realm where maybe music in their sense of consumption isn't as easy as just downloading or paying for an app every month.
No, for sure.
Or that care enough to really go and like search for the newest song, but just hear it in passing,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think live events and all of that is like kind of that last piece to kind of mend them because people want to just be out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did that show at Jam and Jubilee, my first show back in 2 years. And with the new style of music too, right? So I remember, dude, my last show I headlined, there's 80 people there in Mission. And I just did Jam and Jubilee, there was like pushing 400.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was crazy. It was like people all the way to the back.
My goodness.
It was nuts. It was like the town over from me in Abbotsford. Yeah. It was awesome.
I really wonder if that's more of people from Abbotsford all coming
just
together.
Coming,
or if that's, people from outside coming to Abbotsford. Because I know, who's that famous Steve Weeb?
Oh, yeah, the tattoo artist, right? Yeah.
That motherfucker got famous people flying in every week.
Crazy. Or he'll like fly. I heard a story about him. Like, he like tattooed, who was it? Like, he tattooed Kevin Durant on a plane.
Yeah,
like,
I think I'm
going from Greece. I saw it on some ESPN type thing because he tats all the basketball players, right? So yeah. No, he's from Abbotsford too, bro. Like the valley is crazy,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, are these motherfuckers like spinning the economy in Abbotsford? Like all these people coming inside.
Yeah, I mean, like Jam and Jubilee is like a big like community event, right? So like a lot of people were there just for like the community of it. Right. There's a lot of old people there and shit. They didn't leave when I was performing, so I was like, I must sound all right.
Yeah, 100%. You said you never performed on the rap side when you were doing rap?
When I was doing rap, no, I performed a lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot, yeah. But I never performed like this new style.
Yeah.
And that was my first show back.
How'd you find that? Like,
It was cool. It was crazy. I voice cracked so hard.
Yeah.
Because when I record, I'm very soft, you know, in my high voice. And then I didn't know how loud I was supposed to be. The monitors were kind of all fucked up and shit. And so I couldn't really like gauge how loud I was.
Yeah.
So I was like, voice cracked so hard immediately. And I was like, shit. But it went off crazy. Everyone was jumping around and stuff. It was awesome, dude. It was such a sick, sweet time.
Okay, on that same, because you're talking about the live performance.
Yeah.
Real quick, did you ever hear about that Giveon thing where Giveon had voice cracked? I don't know if it was at the Grammys or at some live performance.
Terrible place to do it.
Right. Yeah. And you know, at the exact moment he's like reaching for his monitor or whatever it might have been, and like he said it was tweaking in his ear, like something was happening. He couldn't hear, like it wasn't right, and that's why he had messed up in real time.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of me?
I wanted to know, maybe go home and watch it and tell me later, but I want to know if you think that was legit.
I've never seen the clip, but if it's what you're describing, oh hell yeah, dude, I can see that happening for sure.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear myself at all.
Okay,
I couldn't hear myself. There was one point like during the show, like I went out into the crowd during my song called Latency. I was jumping around with everyone. I was hearing myself. I was like, oh, I sound great live, like outside, but on the monitors can't hear shit, which is crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Interesting.
Soundman was nice though. I respect him.
It was a whole crew discussion because I was like, I'm sure that it could have been, you know, something going on, but these guys were saying nah. Like something happened and he started reaching for it to make it. I don't know. I'm not trying to throw nothing on the man. Shout out Giveon. He's doing his thing, but you talked about, I want to know how important, because I know that you do really well when it comes to merchandise and like apparel as well.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Like, because I think that's an important piece, especially the live performance that maybe some artists don't really consider.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's one of the most important sources of your revenue.
For sure. For sure.
How important is like designing and that whole process for you?
I don't really like, we've only ever done 2 drops since like the new style, but before, like I never did any merch before, but like we did 2 drops, but they sold pretty well, bro, to be honest. Like we just pulled up to the show with them, and we sold a lot of shirts. Like we barely have any left now, which is sick.
Are you marketing these before, or you're just pulling up with designs?
We just pulled up. I just put on my story here. We have shirts now. They almost sold out, which is kind of gangster. We don't have like a Squarespace or anything set up, so we just had like transfer this email. Wow. And then they sent it. It was perfect. It worked. It was good.
That's
man.
Insane.
Yeah, it sold a lot. Made a decent amount of money too. And then,
is there like when you do something like that, is like your team like is having the right people to be able to kind of make that happen?
Yeah, like so like our friend's dad was like owns the apparel company, so they just like hooked it up for us.
That's what's up.
On the low. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
see, this guy's using all resources, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I think that's a dope piece, because a lot of artists I find aren't in that bag.
Yeah.
Is there like a word of advice that you have to anybody that, you know, might just be an artist, but you know they're so locked in on like the music side, or maybe they're independent in a sense, and I feel like it's maybe just one more piece, like I said, maybe connecting with the right clothing company or whatever it might be, but how crazy things can go for you if you want to stick in the independent route, like how that might help. Like, do you have like a word of advice for anybody that might not even be in that space yet?
I think if you're doing a show, no matter what you're doing, if there's people there and there could be potential buyers. So like when you do a show, right, it's like potential listeners. That's why the whole reason you do a show is for new people to be exposed to yourself. So it's like if they like what they hear, they're gonna want to support. So if you always have merch there, you just buy it. I don't know, you can like go online and just type in like you can just create shirts online, and then you just order them. It might be expensive because you don't have like the right supplier or whatever, but I don't know too much about that field, but I know if you like got a hookup, then you can get it for decently cheap. But it's always good to have merch wherever you are.
No, 100%.
Yeah, especially if you're doing shows.
I feel like a lot of times my favorite moments, interesting enough, it's when I go to a show, like for example, Drake, Summer 16. I have like a legendary Revenge hoodie.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know if you ever remember, or if you've ever seen those like all black hoodies with like the purple Revenge in like the varsity style text.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like an interesting, and interesting merchandise piece. A lot of people have one, and it's remembrance of that particular tour.
Oh yeah.
And I find myself only buying that like $50 hoodie or $60, $70. Honestly, probably not even close to that $30 range, but an expensive hoodie.
Yeah,
I find myself dropping it because fuck, I'm in line. We're here. We're here now. Might as well.
Absolutely. It adds to like the stoke of like what's going on. You're excited. You're excited to see your favorite artist. Boom, I'm gonna buy something from them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no.
Money grab, man.
Nah, but the thing is, if it's dope.
It's dope, yeah.
If it's dope, that adds that extra piece to it, because it's like shit.
It also comes to a point though, like if I'm like a huge fan of someone and they have shitty merch, I'll still buy the merch.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I like them so much. I want to support, right?
No, that's true. I mean, unless you were just dragged there, maybe not dragged there, or like you just pulled up. I might not drop the merch for a concert. I'm not trying to see like that, but
no, exactly. That's why, like, if it's my favorite artist, I'll buy it no matter what's going on. Yeah.
No, very, very true. And like I found myself. I think my first tour shirt was George Watsky.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
YouTube rapper.
Okay, cool.
If you ever heard of Pale Kid Raps Fast?
Watsky?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who Watsky is.
Yeah. No, he.
Pale Kid Raps Fast. What a title, bro.
That was an OG video too. On God. He used to do work with Anderson .Paak way earlier.
Whoa.
Him and Anderson .Paak were like, collaborating frequently back then.
Yeah.
There's a whole album called Cardboard Castles. You can go and listen to it.
Name.
2014, 2015,
Wow.
George Watsky. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's dope.
But yeah, that was like my first concert t-shirt. My sister took me. I got the shirt.
Yeah.
I still have it to this day.
Nice.
It's like a little like globe. It's interesting.
That's cool.
I see the Vancouver on the back where it shows all the cities.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just adds to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot more people should kind of focus or lock in on that too.
Yeah.
Like,
And it adds to the memory of the night, right? Too. Like, I got this at this show.
Yeah.
I had a good time here with my friends.
100%.
You know?
I think I did a school dance where there was literally like I don't even remember what the shirt was. It was like a purple. It was one word on the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
And that just became. I just remember that shirt for so long. I still remember it now, but I remember the design. I don't even remember what the word was.
No,
but
for sure.
I remember it was a shirt from that night, from that dance. That's whatever it was.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, it really adds to that. I think it's something that people don't really. I feel like a lot of people do, but it's not focused or locked in enough.
100%. Sweet old memories.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
R&R Digital.
Yeah, my guys.
Your guys.
My guys, yeah. Sub-label of Warner Records.
Mm-hmm.
They signed us for the EP we just released.
Yeah.
Called Deja, but we're done with the contract now.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, it was just for the one EP.
Oh, was it just the one EP?
It was just the one 5 songs. One EP of 5 songs.
I remember I saw you, you know what? That's interesting. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Writing such a short contract in today's day and age, because I feel like, and maybe I'll talk for a bit, because I felt like this was something that I always noticed where labels aren't really necessarily in their best interest to sign you in a shorter term contract, because the reason for a long, and I'm sure you know all of this very well, but the reason for a longer term contract is to give the labels enough time to kind of gauge, provide you that release date.
For sure.
Invest in you, of course, but give them enough time to see if you're that artist that's gonna pop. Yeah. That 1%, like the Drake or the whoever else that actually pays the lights in the building.
Absolutely.
Or maybe one of the artists that maybe they realize that like maybe things were going in that direction. Maybe we either tweak them or we just kind of like shelve it or whatever it might be. It's the record business. Yeah. It's no other way to put it, but it gives them enough time. That long contract gives them enough time to kind of gauge that.
For sure.
I don't see them really signing those shorter term contracts anymore, because it's more so them, trying to see how it goes with the one project or kind of gauging it in that sense. It's not really giving them much of an incentive.
True.
To kind of hold on to that hot artist for a longer amount of time. Yeah. As they just gain public notoriety, whatever you want to call it.
Notoriety.
Notoriety. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, it was
for this album, Deja, I guess in particular, Deja, if you want. Up to you.
I feel like it was it really, like what you're saying, I get it for sure, but it like they're like a digital brand, so like nothing's physical. Oh, okay. So like I don't even think they put people on tour or anything. It's just one of those things where it's like, let's get you to the next step of your career. Got you. Right. And so it was just one of those deals. It was like a no advance deal, so we got no cash up front, but they paid for everything. Right. Which is cool, because like I don't like spending money. Yeah. I don't like spending money. I'm a frugal guy, so it's like
it's a very interesting business model. I've never, I haven't heard of it particularly.
They have some big artists though. So like Dijon, you know Dijon?
Dijon, I've heard of that name.
Do you know Dijon? Big artist. He was on Jimmy Fallon and stuff. That's their big guy.
That's their big guy. Okay.
Mountain Joy, the band. Have you heard of Mountain Joy?
Mountain Joy, yes.
Mountain Joy, big band. So like
what genre is that again?
It's like indie rock.
Okay. Yeah.
But the CEO of R&R Digital, that's his artist. He's a manager, so he manages like RL Grime.
Grime or RL Grime. Okay, not Grimes. Okay.
Yeah, RL Grime. He's performed at Faded a couple times.
Yeah,
and stuff.
RL Grime. Yeah.
And so he's like an EDM DJ and yeah, Ben Persky's a beautiful human, amazing guy, and he runs R&R Digital, and he wanted to give us an opportunity to release some music under the label, and they paid for it, and they got the Gianni and Kyle feature on Dago, and you know, they definitely elevated us for sure. Yeah, they definitely elevated us. Which that's the whole goal of their label, is to elevate you to the next step. Yeah, which is cool, and now we're here.
Yeah, and all that to say, that's probably exactly what your objective or perspective in that situation was. Like, you just wanted to be elevated to that next step.
Yeah, for sure. And like build relationships and stuff, right? And like all the guys from R&R Digital are fucking awesome dudes. Yeah, so sick. We were just in LA and we met them for the first time.
Really
sick dudes, man. So cool, man.
That's what's up. What's up.
They're awesome, man.
I feel like that energy, like that initial energy, or just the energy you have with that person, is probably the most important piece. It's like, how well do you get along with that person just simply in a room? Like,
absolutely. Can
y'all kick the shits and, like, you know, hang out,
vibe, right?
And then get to work and then, you know, jump back and forth between that? Or is it, you know, all fun, not too much work? Or is it all work to not too much fun? Yeah. It's got to kind of, what is it called? The seesaw's got to balance.
Yeah, like the yin and the yang of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the duality of it too. And like, yeah, that's one thing I was telling you outside, right? Was like, I don't do shit unless it's fun. Like, especially with the music, because music to me is my escape, right? So like, I'm not gonna sit there in the studio for hours and be like, let's tweak this little drum, or let's tweak this little voice, a little vocal or whatever. It's like, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I don't like to think too much about music.
100%.
You know, that's why I make songs so fast. Because me, it's like, okay, let's get this out, and whatever's going on up here, let's put it out into the universe. Let's get it out.
I get that energy when I watch you and Coulter work together.
Yeah, it was so fast. Every song is so fast.
Yeah, like
we don't spend any longer than one session on something, unless it's to really like go back. And I do a lot of fucking weird shit in the studio. I'm a weird dude, and so like in the studio, I'll do like weird laughs and shit on the song. And when we listen to it back, we're like, oh, okay, we gotta take those out because like no one's gonna like that. Yeah. So then we'll just go and take it out or whatever. Or even if it's too much for me, like we'll take it out.
Right. So if you're dropping a fresh song, or you're recording a fresh song with every record, how many of them are getting shelved and how many are dropping? You know, what's your deciding factor?
It just depends on how excited I am over it.
Okay.
Right. And so like this next projects we have coming out, we have like an album that was like almost completely finished, and that's like very cohesive. So where I got in that mind state of just, let's just like make a cohesive project that fucking bangs, right, front to back bangs. And this is like the most like indie type of rock type of stuff I've done ever. Right. Fucking bangs, dude. I listened to it today while I was at work, dude. I was like, this shit is gonna win me a Juno or something, dude. I've never been this confident in anything. That's dope. And like this, like listening to this is fucking awesome. But like, yeah, I just feel like it's the cohesiveness of it. But I have like 60 unreleased songs.
That's insane.
And like probably not a lot of them are going to get released just because there's no place for them. It's cool to like make music here and there because it gets the ideas out. Even if the song's bad, it gets the bad idea out so the good idea can get placed.
I hope you know not a lot of people are making music like you make it.
I make music every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Like not a lot of people are making music like you. Like people are going in there with an objective.
Yeah.
They don't have a product. They wasted however much money on a session. Then they're pissed.
Yeah, for sure.
Or they're going with an artist. Oh, like we're about to use whatever we make from this, or it's like a waste session. We're not working with you again. It's like that in the industry.
No, for sure. I just go in there and do it. Yeah, especially with people that's why like with people I work with, like I'm pretty kind of like selective, not in like a dickhead type of way, but just in like a way of like I gotta make sure we're friends first. You know, so like it was funny like when we met like Elijah Blonde for the first time. Right. It's my fucking guy. Shout out to Elijah.
Shout out Elijah, yo.
Love that kid. It was one of those things where it's like his management set it up with my management, and at first I was a little weary because I don't like to make music with people I don't know. Yeah, right. Because it's a very like it's a big energy thing for me. It's like a very personal thing for me. It's
transfer
like,
of energy.
Yeah, it's 100%. Like a very personal thing. Like I'm opening up my creative juices to you, and you're opening up yours to mine. So like I don't want you to be weird. Yeah, like weird is good, but not like a weird like you're too cool for school type of way. But Bounce was late for the session, and so it was like me, Elijah, and his manager Taylor outside kicking it for like an hour, dude. Yeah, and we just pulled up, never met this kid before. met him and his manager before, and we fucking vibed. I love that kid. He's like a brother. I love that kid. And immediately we're like, okay, we're gonna make a fucking sick song. We made a sick song, dude. It's dope, man. That's coming out in like in a couple weeks.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love that energy piece because for me too, it's the most important thing. How well do we mesh? Like, are we cool just in front of the mics or just behind the mics? Like, absolutely. Which one is it? Is it like the red buttons hit and then everybody gets into this weird kind of
I know
or like in a role of some sense, or can we just kick it whether we're rolling or not? Like, you were just showing me like what you were listening to right now. We're chilling on the balcony for a bit. It was we're just vibing, you know. It's nothing. And I told him very well too. I don't really call these interviews.
Yeah, it's conversations, right?
That's what I call them. They're conversations for a reason, because I don't like, although yes, I sit here with questions and things that I want to ask you and hear about, and these are simply just things that I want to know realistically.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Just as being your homie, like we talked about, you and I met way back with JML.
Yeah.
You know, back when how old were you again? How old was I?
18. I was 18.
So I was 20. I was 19 or 20. Yeah.
19 or 20. Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane. And
like 4 years ago.
It was really just us trying shit too. It wasn't what's the important, like, talk about the importance, because for me, trying shit is the world. It's the difference between whether you become successful in what you want to accomplish or don't. Yeah. It's whether you actually like jump out on a ledge and do it or don't. Yeah. Or whether you sit in contentment for the rest of your life.
Trying shit is so important, bro. That's the only way you're going to grow in life, dude, is to get out of your comfort zone and try shit. Like, I fucking hate when people make fun of people for trying shit. Like, you're a fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like people that make fun of people for trying shit are so scared of doing shit themselves, you know, because they get so like content in their own little world, like you said. That shit's fucking lame, man. You just got to go try shit. Go fuck up. That's what life's about. You gotta fuck up, dude. You gotta lose money. You gotta lose whatever, and you just gotta, you know, be smart about it so you don't do it again.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that last piece, because it's about being smart enough and not doing it again. Like I think in a digital space, we're in a world now where we watch a lot of videos, we listen to a lot of podcasts, hear a lot of songs, and we're living through people's experiences. 100%. And I think that maybe we're interpreting them in a different way. Yeah. Like for me, I feel like maybe I'm learning from a lot of mistakes that I'm watching. Absolutely. So maybe I'm not necessarily doing things, but I'm still acknowledging that in a sense, and knowing that you do have to jump out on a ledge on certain things.
No, for sure. You gotta take risk, bro. That's how it happens, man. I can't even tell you how many times I went broke, like 70 cents in my bank account off of doing music stuff.
Can't even buy Junior Chicken. I've been there. You know?
Crazy, dude. It's crazy. And like, I'm still not rich by any means. I'm paycheck to paycheck, man. But it's just because I love this shit. That's why I do it so much.
100%.
You know, I spend the money I gotta spend on it, because this is the career I want to have.
It's, although whatever situation you're in, I feel like a lot of people carry like energy and passion behind what they do.
100%.
Excuse me. And it's evident in kind of like what you do, like your music, like you can see that you're like putting passion behind this shit. A lot of people, like even nowadays, I feel like maybe lack that, like, and I don't know, like I find that I don't listen to as much rap anymore. Yeah. Like we talked about, like I find myself listening to more Afro beats or alternative or indie or other genres, because I feel like maybe I pull a little bit different or more from it. Yeah. But yeah, the rap really got to that, and bitch all you want. But for me, I felt like certain rappers, and it all carries back to like the Kendricks of the world and the J. Coles of the world. I found myself going back to listening to new artists that did that that wordplay sense. Like that's what I originally fell in love with.
For sure. Same with me.
Yeah. And I found myself kind of straying back to artists now that were like that back then. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I think energy's particular, and kind of like, I don't know, even just what you listen to in my sense. It was, I listened to rap until I kind of pulled as much as I could out of it. And then I found Afro beats, and it was like, damn, I'm pulling something different from this.
For sure. That's like Popcan and all them, right?
Yeah, Popcorn, Burna Boy.
Dope. Yeah, I know Burna
Boy. Wiz Kids also. Yeah. These are like the commercial pop versions of them. Yeah. Of like Afro beats now. There's a lot more people that are underground, like Thames.
I know Thames.
Bubbling up as well. She's on that Wait For You song.
Dope.
People that it's this weird thing where we just had Osita David is one of my homies. He's a lot more in that kind of Afrobeat scene.
That's cool.
He's like a MC host of a lot of these events.
Dope, dude.
And yeah, it's like he's hosting a lot of the concerts and people that are coming to the city and just doing the Afrobeats thing, and you're noticing it kind of leak into the mainstream slightly.
For sure. That's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, it's dope. Like I feel like a lot of people are going to be hearing a lot more of like Burna Boy and WizKid and some of these artists, and like, you know, featuring Justin Bieber, featuring you know, all of that. But
didn't WizKid just sign to Drake?
WizKid, no, not WizKid.
Who's the guy?
Popcorn
Yeah,
signed to OVO.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually one of the like the, I think, Afrobeats or island artists.
Okay.
That Drake signed to his label. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Yeah, it's dope. Speaking of speaking of labels, Stealth Bomb.
Yeah.
What was your history with them? What labels are, sorry, what albums did you make with them?
Just Paradise Park.
Was it just Paradise Park?
Just Paradise Park, yeah.
How was that experience like working with them?
It was cool. It was like full creative control. We just did what we did and then gave him the record at the end. And then he was like, okay, dope.
Did you feel like you like pulled much from that relationship, or like it was just what it was kind of thing?
Yeah, like Snack's my guy. So Snack's the CEO of Stealth Bomb. Like that's my guy. Like love that dude forever, man.
Yeah.
He's the first one that put me on my very first show.
Really?
Booked me for my very first show ever, just like opened up for his friend. And then he took me on tour, man. 47 shows in 2 months. Like and that's expensive to bring someone on tour.
You have to, I feel like you have to pay respect to that.
I pay respect to that man all the time. That guy's a fucking goat, dude.
100%.
That guy is like so selfless. He bought me shoes when I couldn't afford shoes.
Really?
Yeah, he's a fucking awesome guy.
That sounds like somebody that like saw potential in this kid that you know, wanted to bring them along for the ride kind of thing.
100%, dude. Yeah, that guy's a fucking awesome guy. But we just did the one album with them, and then my style changed too much from like what their fan base would expect. So we moved on, but I'm forever grateful for my time with them. They're all fucking awesome people.
You find it was like a smooth departure, or was it kind of like a little bit rocky kind of
Oh,
thing?
not at all. No, it was smooth. It was just like, this is the new direction I'm going now. And they're like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna really mesh well with our people. It's like, okay, still my guy though. I fucking 100%. Love that guy. Yeah,
that's dope. I find that's like that's the best way that a lot of those relationships can kind of happen, because I feel like I hear too much beef, or somebody complaining that their album or their record label's not doing this or that, or just complaining about something that they didn't sign in a contract.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of things like that, and to hear of somewhat of like a peaceful departure is, you know, the best thing that could possibly happen.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. What do you see for your direction going forward? Like, do you see yourself signing with another?
Yeah, we got a little something.
Something in the works.
I can't say it on camera, but I'll tell you after.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, we got a little something. I'm very, very confident in it. And it's going to be beautiful shit, man. So I'm talking about that album. Catch me at the fucking JUNOs sometime soon, man. I swear to God.
I'm going to have to see you there, sir.
Yeah, man. I swear, dude. I'm excited for you to hear this new album.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Really, like, I've never been this more confident in my work. But that's going to go somewhere.
Paint the picture of where I'm at when I'm listening to, your common listener is at when they're listening to this album. Like, are they in the car watching a sunset? Or
yeah, exactly. Sunset beach vibe.
Got me already.
It's cool, man. So like, I'll tell you a story behind it. So basically, when I used to smoke a lot of weed back in the day, right? So I was like 18. This is right when I first discovered the band Plums.
Right.
It's very surf rocky. And I would just like smoke weed, go home at like 2 a.m. and just like be super fried in my fucking living room and just like dance around the Plums.
Right.
And I always thought, like, I'm a very visual guy, right? So I always thought about this like beach town like romance type of like movie, and I always wanted to direct like a Netflix show.
Really?
Always about this like 1950s romance, but use like my favorite songs of these like surf type of genre, right?
Okay.
But it got to the point where I was like, that's kind of unrealistic. I'm not going to direct a movie anytime soon. So let's put it into like my own music. So and that was back when I was rapping. I thought that. So but when it comes to rap, it's like you can't really like do a lot of imaginary shit. A lot of rap is like real life shit, right?
Yeah.
So, but with this new genre of music, it's like I can really like take my creative juices and fucking throw them everywhere, and you can do anything you want. Really, it's like limitless with this type of genre, and that's what I love about it so much. So I was like, let's take that idea, because that idea stuck with me this whole time since I was like 18, so 4 years,
right? And
let's just put it into my music, and we made an incredible album. Incredible album. That's
insane.
Like that. And so it's like, it's cool. I like mentioned basically they make up like storylines in every song about like different people, like different made up names and stuff. It's
really
fucking awesome. I love it.
That's insane.
The guitar solos and shit.
Just like what came to make that album, because you said that as you were at the early conception of this album that you were like, say, just like, you know, smoking weed all day or whatever it might have been, like right before that album like started to come to be.
Yeah, well, like the idea came 4 years ago, and we just made the album, like,
and the album was just made
6 months ago.
Crazy.
Just been working on it for like 6 months, on and off and here and there. But
no, I'm really excited to hear this, because I really fall for like that. I don't know. It's hard to put it, but like you're living a lot of music that I listen to now.
Yeah,
I'm not really listening to a real story in a sense.
For sure.
I like being able to be placed in a story or in a situation and be watching it, almost observing.
Absolutely.
You know, funny enough, I somewhat blame it for my lack of attention span sometimes. I find myself always wanting to consume content rather than just like sitting in silence or like a lot of those type of things. We'll talk about it another day.
Absolutely.
But no, like it was exactly that where I might have just completely lost my train of thought.
I get what you're saying though. Like with this, like I wanna take someone to another world.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to fully immerse someone
100%
in like whether your day is shitty or it's great or whatever the fuck's going on in your life. Like I want that however long the album is, 30-35 minute album or whatever. I want that to be like you're escaped. You're in your own world. You're doing your own thing. Like, because I want my music to make people feel like how my favorite bands make me feel.
Right.
And that's fucking good, man. I love to feel good, dude.
Yeah.
So like I think this album is very, very carefree and like high, good energy.
How many
vibes.
tracks are we talking?
Probably like 12.
12?
Yeah.
Your last one had what, 5? Was it?
Deja had 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, a little EP.
You dropped 4 of them before, and then you just dropped the 5th one.
Package
and
it together.
I noticed that.
Marketing.
Actually. Yeah. It works.
Give them all their best shot, right?
You know what? It works because I find that it shows that, hey, I'm presenting this as a piece of work that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, at least.
No, for sure.
That's actually why when I listen to music, I try to listen to it from top to bottom.
Yeah. That's the best way. That's where the artist wants it to be heard, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I go and do my own shuffle shit afterwards, you know.
Sure. Pick the best ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But initially I try to listen to it how it was intended to be listened to.
100%.
Which I think, you know, for somebody like that makes music like you, like you kind of have to listen to it in that way. And I'm really excited to kind of hear it and just be able to kind of consume or just hear your thoughts in that way in the music and see, you know, are there any collabs or are you gonna do this one on your own?
One feature, maybe a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more, like later down the line once like everything is settled. But yeah, it's just like the cool thing about this album that everyone's gonna hear is like this is like I put, like I told you, there's different characters and stuff in it, different names and stuff, but every song has a piece of me in it. Right, which is cool, and that's one thing I like finally was able to tap into. Like, this is me, this is Cody, as known or whatever, and this is like the shit. Like, this is me, this is my brain, this is my heart.
Yeah,
take it for what it is.
You acknowledge Cody and known as 2 different people, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like known. You know, sometimes I feel like it was just like a name I made when I was like 18. Right, so it was one of those things. Sometimes it just feels like it's the URL. For people to find my music. Yeah. And sometimes I just like, you know, don't really feel like that is like the encapture of who I am. Yeah. But I don't know, it's cool. It's like when almost as if like Slipknot or whatever, like they got the masks on and stuff, right? And it's like nobody really knows who they are, but this is where the music is. Yeah. You know, 100%. So that's cool.
Do you see any type of like name change in the future?
Nah, too late, too deep.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad marketing strategy.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel this. I agree with you. Yeah, it's one of those things where at this point now it's like, fuck, you know what? It's the cloak that I put on. For sure. The goggles that I slip on, you know.
I mean, you know, Big Baby Drum. Yeah, he changed his name to Shelly.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Shelly, like, aka, he's doing a lot of that.
Yeah, it's like Shelly, formerly known as Big Baby Drum or whatever. But I like Big Baby Drum. Right? It's a good name, man.
Yeah, man. He said he's putting the meat in the album, yo. No, he's not forgetting the steak or the steak with the potatoes and the side and the vegetables, all that.
Yeah, it's really, it all together really me, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
Fuck with that. I'm really excited to hear it.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much for pulling up, bro. I really appreciate it. Man,
of course.
We've been in the talks for this for a while too. It's kind of funny. Yeah, like I've known, like I said, we've known you. No pun intended. For like 4 years, right?
4 years, yeah.
Said half a decade.
Yeah,
almost half a decade.
Almost half a decade. It's crazy.
That's insane. And like we said, like, you know, collaborating and like just having these conversations with people that like you can actually tell stories with. It's really dope. Man, shout out JML PJ once again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out some of those Elijah Blonde,
Boosted, Powfu, Snack. Oh my gosh! Shout out my manager, Casey. 100%. My producer, Bounce.
a lot of talented people in the city of Vancouver. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
When you look at it from a worldwide perspective, it's Vancouver.
Yeah.
Man, thank you very much for pulling up.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Appreciate it.
Bro.
Thank you for listening on this special episode once again. Make sure you check out the rest of our content. Check out our site, certifiedplatinum.ca, for more of our content, conversations, podcasts, YouTube content, all that, you know. Thanks once again. We'll catch you next time.